you, I do the Chapter 4 test separate from the Chapter 3 test. So you're going to have 2 Unit 2 tests. One's called A, which is Chapter 3. There it is right there. And then Chapter 4 will be called whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. It would be called Test B. Unit 2, Test B, but we ain't even got there yet. But here's your Chapter 3 assignments that are due, along with your skills and your quiz. So make sure you take those. And we'll look at the questions that are sent. There's Miss Brody. I knew she'd come in. I'll take the
Hello.
Hey there. All right, so with that being said, let's move on to the questions that were sent. And where are they? There they are. Okay, looks like we got 3 questions out of 3.4 and 3.5. Here's 3.4, 13/5. 3.4, 13/5. And the first thing I'm going to say is it a test question? Is it one that I would put on the test? And I don't know. Probably. Let's look at it and see. Yeah, I would put this on the test. And I'm just going to cover up what they're doing because, as I showed you before with the parent graphs, and let me look and see if I sent that to y'all. Thought I did. Parent graphs. Yeah. So here's the parent graph sheet that I sent y'all that probably 2 of y'all printed out. And if it ever comes up, there you go. And for the 2 or 3 people that printed it out, there it is. So what does absolute value look like? Looks like a V. Absolute value, absolute vodka. V in vodka and value starts with a V. So it looks like a V. So this problem looks like a V. It doesn't have a X and Y intercept is 0, 0. So it looks like this. And -7 is going to be 7, and 8 is going to be 8. Domain is all real numbers. Range is from 0 to infinity. Domain is all real numbers. Remember, I told you, domain is going to be all real numbers unless you're dealing with a fraction or a radical. Range is from 0 to infinity. Range is from 0 to infinity. And when you plug in f of x is equal to the absolute value of x, absolute value is another word for distance. Absolute value equals distance. So what is the distance from -8 to 0? 8. And what is the distance from 7 to 0? 7. So that's your answers. So it's not this one. It's not this one. It's not this one. So the only answer it could be is C. And -7 is 7. And 8 is 8. I got it backwards on the paper, but This headache is not going to make me, I'm not going to rewrite stuff. I'm sorry. The domain is all real numbers, which is negative infinity. And infinity is right there to positive infinity. Delete, backspace, whatever. And the range, I thought it asked for the range too. Okay, no. Okay. Well, there's your answers. Parent graph would have told you that one. You will learn that what I tell you, when I send you something, you print it out because you're going to need it on the test. For those 2 or 3 people that are printing out, you're doing what you're supposed to. For the lazy people that can't even print out a sheet of paper, I don't know what to say. This is 3.4, 27, 12. 3.4, 27, 12. And let's see if it's a test question. There's only certain ones that I put piecewise function on a test, and this is not one of them. There's no way in Hades I would put this on the test. Because this question is designed to discourage the student to even try. The more we put on this question, the more the student will be discouraged and not even try the problem. That's what this says. Okay, so write the piecewise function t input x that models the tax dollars owed tax from 0 to 104. My God, I don't even know how they even got to this. All right, right here from 0 to 49, and they want from 104. Well, 0.18x is to 49. So 0.18x, and this is going to be to 104.07. It's going to be 0.28x plus 88.34. There's that right there. And you've got to also add x minus 49. Wait a minute. We haven't even done income tax, and they're trying to get y'all to do an income tax problem. This is stupid. Okay? We don't even do income taxes in this class. Anyway, I'm sorry. The way that you do an income tax, and I'm going to have to explain this because you can't do this problem without it. Oh, this is so stupid. In order to do income tax, you have to deduct the first one from the second one. All right? And that's where the x minus 4908 comes from. And that's probably why you were confused. 0.18x, there's 0.18 times how much money you make, up to $49.80, $49,080. After you get to $49.80, you go to the next bracket, which is 0.28x times 8834.40 times x minus 49,080, because you got to take into effect whatever this was. And that's all I can do to explain that to you. If you've never had any income tax experience, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. And that's why this question should not even be in this section. Use the function to find t of 24,000. So plug 24,000 into the function, and 24,000 would be in this one because it's from 0 to 49.80. 24,000 falls in here. So it'd be 0.18 times 24,000. 98 would be the same. 98 would be, half of it would be in here and half of it would be here. So you would have to take, this is ridiculous. My job is to teach you algebra, not to teach you business and algebra. And that's why I'm irritated, because this shouldn't even be in algebra. All right, so then if you got 98,000, 98,000 falls into the second bracket right here. But you got to take the first bracket, you got to do it at 4980 times 0.18. So 49,080 times 0.18. And then the next one is going to be 0.28. And instead of X, you're going to do X be 98,000 minus 49,080 plus 8,834. Okay, that's how you do 98,000. 98,000 breaks up into two brackets. The first bracket being 0.18 times 4980. Is that right there? The second bracket being 0.28 times X minus 4980, because you can't get taxed twice on 4980. So you have to subtract the 4980, and that's going to give you what you owe. You got to add these two together. So take your handy dandy calculator, since I'm teaching income tax. You can't just teach income tax. That's, oh, I guarantee you a teacher did not put this into the section, because a teacher would say, why you got this section? You got to go through and teach income tax to do this section. I'm sorry, times 0.18. And that's 8834.4. And then the second one is going to be 0.28 times, parentheses, 98,000 minus 49,080, close parentheses, plus 8834, which they've already put that in there, plus 8834, which is what you get at the beginning. 8834, and that's equal to 22,532. So 22,532 should be your answer for 98,000. And see, they don't even tell you right here, they don't even explain to you where that 8834 comes from. That 8834 comes from that first bracket. See, that's where that plus comes from. That plus 18, that's going to be plus the two brackets. The plus 27 is going to be plus the three brackets. The plus 55 is going to be plus the four brackets. So, and you can see that's about right, 45%. If you make over $200,000, you're giving almost half your money to the government. That's the one thing that surprises a lot of people when they find out how to do income taxes. So if you're lucky enough or blessed enough to make a lot of money, you get penalized the most, 45%. So anyway, a friend tells you not to earn any money over 49,000 because it would raise your tax to the next tax bracket. Yes. Test this statement by finding the tax on 4980 and 4980 plus 1. Well, that's ridiculous. $1 is going to put you over into this next bracket, and you're going to type in $1 into this 8834 right here. You're going to type in $1 to that, and you're going to end up with a little bit of money over, yeah, right here, 13,742. So yes, you're going to pay extra money. Each level you go up, you're going to pay extra money. All right, this is not a test question. I guess you can tell by my being pissed off that it's not, because it shouldn't even be in this book. Okay, so I can understand whoever sent this question why you were confused. It shouldn't even be in the book. They gone the wrong way about doing this one. Okay, and I teach a whole section of income taxes in my 103 class, and this is not the way we teach it anyway. We don't add that. We do it by level, and that is not. But we're not going to go through that. I got a headache and I don't feel like fussing anymore. Not a test question. Next question. 3.531/11. 3.531/11. 3.531/11. Yep, this is technology driven. So yes, this is a test question. In fact, I think I put several of these on the test right before class started. So I'm going to do this in Excel. I want you to type them in your calculator. I'm going to make them big enough for you, and then I'll type them in my calculator also. And hold on, there they are. We'll make them bigger so you can see them. And hold on a minute, because they're doing something funky here. 0 is going to be the year 2000. Let me see if they signify that in the question. Hold on a second. Partially because people from a certain country living longer, the number of Alzheimer's disease and other dementia is projected to grow each year. The table below gives the millions of citizens with Alzheimer's from 2000 and projected 250. Okay. 0. Yeah, I believe they're going to make 2000 equal 0, and that's going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 on the x-axis. I'm pretty sure, because this right here, 0 to 50, that doesn't say 0 to 2050. So I would probably change this to 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. I may be wrong, but let's see if it looks the same as far as the here it is right there. And if you have the Excel spreadsheet, you just right click on that and go to linear regression and display. But since we're dealing with the calculator also, I'll do it in the calculator. And stat, edit. Let me clear this one. And clear this one. And type them in 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 3.9, 5.8, 6.9, 8.5, 11.9, and 14.4. You want to do a scatter plot, go to second, y is equal, hit enter for number 1, hit enter for on, and graph. And that's not it. Let me hit mode, zoom, stat, there it is. Let me get rid of my other line that's in there. There. So there's what it looks like in either the calculator or the Excel spreadsheet. Now, if I want to find the linear regression line in my calculator, I go to Stat, Calculate, Linear Regression. Excuse me. And go to Calculate. And that gives me a line, a linear regression of y is equal to 0.2069x plus 3.3952. And r is equal to 0.98. So we got a real strong correlation here. Now let me go here, right click on your dot, go to add trend line, go to display and display, and you will see, and I've got the same thing here that I had with my TI. And if we took the square root of 0.9681, raise it to the 0.5 power, you would get the same thing that they got, 0.98. Now that's all I'm going to ask you on the test, unless they're going to ask something funky. Let's see what they ask for. And it's not this one. That's a negative slope. Could be that one. Not that one. That's a V. And it's not that one. So it's got to be B. And then you see 0.2069. 0.2069. And 3.39. 3.3952. Oh, they want to do a quadratic. I didn't read that. Where did they say do a quadratic? Find a quadratic model. Okay, my fault. Let me go back to the Excel spreadsheet. Let me delete this. Go back, right click, add trend line, go to polynomial, and there it is. And display, and display. Make sure you read the directions. So with a quadratic, we get y is equal to 0.0022x squared plus 0.0979x plus 4.1214. And a correlation of 0.991. 0.991 comes out to be, a correlation of 1. R is equal to 1, which is as high as you can go. So let's go to the handy dandy calculator and do it. calculator, we're going back to stat, calculate, go down to quadratic regression, L1, L2, calculate, and there is what we just did, 0.0022 x squared plus 0.0979x plus 4.1214, and that's the same thing that the Excel spreadsheet got. And you're going to type that in. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to mess y'all up. Let's see, 0.0022 x squared, 0.0979, and 4.1214. That should be it. Model with 4 significant digits, 0.0022 x squared plus 0.0979x plus, I don't know what they want. Let's say number of millions, blah, 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 blah. Report the model with 4 significant digits. I don't know what else they want. Whatever.
You have 5 digits on the
That's
last
not
number.
4 significant digits. That's 6 significant digits. That's 5 significant digits. And that's 4 significant digits. Whatever. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I was saying that you had 5 on the last one, but now I see, like, I don't know what they had at the top. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I did that wrong. I'm sorry. Anyway, to make a long story short, that's the right answer. I'm not worried about that. That's picking at straws. I'm not going to pick at that, but try to do the best you can with those. And it looks like it looks like it's above this point, hitting the 3rd point, and above this point. Let's see which one does that. Well, I've got to find my problem. It looks like this one. Comment on the fit of the model. Choose the correct answer. The model is poor because, no, it's not. It's not poor. It looks like it almost hits each one. So it should be pretty good. It could be B or D. Nothing's perfect, so I'm going to say B because it's close to all of the data points. Yep. Good gracious. This is not a test question, and for 15 parts. How many citizens does the model predict will have Alzheimer's in 2057? Well, you have to go to your table and look up 57 if it's in your calculator. So I'm going to hit table, second table, and I'm going to look for 50. I don't forget what they said. 50 what? 2057. I don't know why I don't have any Y's. Yeah, I should have Y's. I don't know why. Oh, I hadn't graphed it. That's why. So Y is equal to 0.0022x quantity squared plus 0.0979 plus 0.0979x plus 4.1214. 4.1214. And graph. And they want to know 57. Now you can hit table and find 57. And in 2057, we got around 16.85 million. So 16.85 million. 16.8 be 16.9 million. Oh my God. What does it say right here? It says round to what? Does that not say 1 decimal place? Does this not say 1 decimal place? That's the tenths, right? Okay, I'm going to go back to my question. Okay, my bad. I looked at that 5, and that's why I said 16.9. My bad. I think I should just quit. In what year after 2000 does the model predict that 10.4 million? So we got to look for 10.4. So calculator, where is 10.4? I don't see 10.4. Why isn't it giving me? Why is it only giving one? Y is equal graph and second table. Why isn't it going below 1.105? I don't understand that. Stat, edit, 0, 10, graph, and they said, in what year after 2000 does the predict the model 10.4? So that means I need to set y equal to 10.4, which means I'm going to draw 10.4, y is equal to 10.4. And graph, and there's your point, find the intersection, second trace, intersect, don't hold down the button, and the x is 35.6. So I'm going to add that to 36. I'm going to bump that up to 36. So 2036, you'll have a population of 10.4. 2036. Now, all of those are good test questions, but I would not put this on a test because there's too many parts. But each one is a good test question, but not all together. Question, right? Boy, excuse me. I don't know why I yawn in this class and in the 111 class. It's a conspiracy. Okay, nobody's going to say anything? Okay, that's all the questions that were sent to me. So I'm going to move over to the handy dandy test and show you the test. And here is the test down here. Unit 2, Test A on Quadratics. And I'm going to click on Assignment Manager, and I'm going to hit this, and we're going to go through. I'm going to try to show you as many as I can. And there it is, preview. Oh, there's one question right there. They want you to graph it. Graph it on the graphing calculator. Choose the graph. And does this window give a complete graph? Complete. And we'll see. Let's type it in. So we got the window at -10, -10 to 10. And -10 on the Y. And 10 on the Y max. And I'm going to graph Y is equal to -2x squared. -2x squared. Minus 3x. Plus 7. And graph. There's a complete graph to me. I don't know about y'all. That looks like a complete graph. Let me take off the stat plot. So it looks like A. Does the window? Yes. Oh, we didn't check that one. Yep. In your grade book, if you find to find your final grade, you hit overall grade. Use the square root method to solve the quadratic. Use the square root method. That's 9x minus 9x squared minus 49 is equal to 0. So 9x squared equals 49. Divide by 9, divide by 9. Take the square root. That's going to be 9 positive or negative 9 over 3, which is positive or negative 3. Right here. Oh, 7 over 3. 7. 7 times 7 is 49. So it's positive or negative 7 over 3. Positive or negative 7 divided by 3. Next question. Somebody tell me which one shows 7s squared. 7 means something, and the positive means something, and the x squared means something. Which one is it not? Somebody tell me which one is it not?
A and B.
It's not A, and it's not B. Why?
Because they have a negative slope.
They have a negative slope. Which one is going to be narrower? Oh no, this one looks a little bit narrow. But you put it into calculator, and I'm going to say it's C. It looked like it was a little bit wider, but oh, they want you to do completeness square on this one. All right, so let's do the completeness square. 7s squared minus 70s is equal plus blank is equal to 1400 plus blank. Okay? So go ahead and finish it using completing the square. I hope I didn't do goodies powders with PM knockout in it. Oh gosh, I could have. Bad as that dadgum Benadryl. Miss Wilson just disappeared. There's a picture of her windows that she sits at, and she just disappeared. Somebody abducted her. So factor out a 7. That's going to leave s squared minus 10s plus blank is equal to 1400 plus 7 times blank. And yes, I'm going to get my highlighter out because that 7 is factored out right here. I have to make sure I multiply it by that blank. Take my red pen, 10 divided by 2, and square it is equal to 5, 2, and 25. And that gives me shortcut number 2 right here. S minus 5 quantity squared. That's 7 out front. Is equal to 7. What's 7 quarters? $1.75. So $1.75. That's 175. Be 1575. Somebody check my math, please.
It's 1575.
Say again.
It is 1575.
Okay. So our vertex is 5, comma, negative 1575. Divide by 7. Divide by 7. S minus 5, quantity squared. 7 will go into 15 2 times. That'll leave 17. Go in there 2 times. 35. Somebody check my math. I got 227.
225.
Huh?
225. 7 times 5.
Is it 225? Okay. And take the square root. S minus 5 is equal to positive or negative 15. Bring this over. That's going to give us 20. And negative 15 plus 5 is negative 10. I think it is. So we drew a, let's see, negative 5 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And negative, that's way the heck down here. And 20 and negative 10, well, that's 5. 20 would be over here, negative 10 would be over here. Y-intercept of 1400. Well, this is 15, let's see, this is 1575. So 1400 would be in here. So your domain is all real numbers. Your range is from negative 1575 to infinity. Your decreasing is negative infinity to negative 5. And from negative 5 to infinity is the right side of the bowl. So I don't know what they're asking on this one, but so it looks like it's going to be one of C or D, and I believe it's D. The solutions are, what was our x-intercepts? 20 and negative 10, so that'd be negative 10. If I got to do anything, if I got to put it in parentheses, no, I don't have to put it in parentheses. So negative 10, comma, 20. That should be it. Given the graph of the quadratic function, write the equation of the function in vertex form. Okay, you got 2 points here. You got to use them because you don't have anything else. You got 2 points. You got x and y and x and y. But you also have y is equal to ax squared. Y, or f of that y, is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. And you've got 2 points. You've got 0, 0. And you've got 3 and negative 18. They want you to find the equation of the line. Well, let's see. Got that 0, 0 right there. We could plug that in for x and y, or 3 and negative 18. Let's see what happens. 0 is equal to a times 0 squared plus b times 0 plus c. So c is equal to what? C is equal to 0. Now what do you do? Well, you got c is equal to 0. That pretty much takes that out. let's see, what else can we do with 3 and 18 and 0 and 0? Anybody? Well, you got C is equal to 0. You can plug in that 3 and negative 18 and maybe see if we can get an A. So 3 and 18, so that's going to be 0, or a negative 18 is equal to A is going to be 3, A be A times 3 squared plus B times 3 plus 0. And that's going to give you negative 18 is equal to 9C plus 3B. And that's going to give you not much, but we may be able no. There's some way you set this up equal to a solving systems of equations. I'm trying to remember it. And let's see. Make sure I wrote the question down right. Well, where is it? There it is. Oh, I know what I did wrong. I didn't use their, okay, we got a vertex right here. I didn't do that first. See, we've got f of x. I didn't see that. F of x is equal to a times x minus h squared plus k. And we've got a vertex of 3 and 18. We need to plug that into this. Okay, so we've got f of x is equal to a times, we've got a positive shift to the right of 3. So that means it needs to be x minus 3 quantity squared plus a negative 18. Now we can plug in 0 and 0 and find A. So, and that's what I'm fixing to do right now. So 0 for y is equal to A times 0 minus 3 quantity squared minus 18. And 0 is going to be equal to A times negative 3 squared minus 18. And that negative 18 can come over. And that's 9A. And A is equal to 2. So now you can just plug everything back in right here. Take that negative 2. Make sure. Yeah, it should be 2. Take that 2 and plug it in right there. And you get f of x is equal to 2 times x minus 3 quantity squared minus 18. So 2 times x minus 3 quantity squared minus 18. And I don't know if they want to turn it into a quadratic or not. I'm going to type it in first. 2 parentheses x minus 3 quantity squared x minus 3 quantity squared minus 18. Now, if it says it's wrong, they want you to go through and distribute the x minus 3 quantity squared with the shortcut number x squared plus 6x plus 9 times 2. Distribute that 2 and then combine the 18 in there. So let's see if they want this. Yep, that's all they want. Question, gripe, complaint. Next. Use the square root. Here's a simple one. 2x squared minus 22. 2x squared minus 22 is equal to 0. 2x squared is equal to 22. X squared is equal to 11, right? And x is equal to the square root of 11. Square root of 11. Oh well, positive or negative square root of 11. Good gracious. God, they get so technical. Next. Only one that has my phone number and email address. Only one that equals 100. Decrease it. Overall grade one day, and it has dropped because 0 has been added. If you take several unit tests of Hubert's test or several unit tests, how is it counted? I take the highest grade. Sketch the completed graph from the following function. So you got to do completing the square. I would do completing the square. So y is equal to 3x squared plus 6x minus 6. 3x squared plus 6x plus blank is equal to 0, or negative 6 would be positive 6 plus blank. Factor out of 3, x squared plus 2x plus blank is equal to 6 plus 3 times blank. Half of 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 3 times x plus 1, quantity squared, is equal to 9. And here's the vertex right here. You got your y-intercept right here. Vertex is -1, -9. So technically, but I'm going to go ahead and finish. 3, x plus 1 quantity squared is equal to 3. X is equal to, let's see, 1.7 minus 1 is 0.7. Negative 1.7 plus 1 is negative 2.7. So we've got a graph with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, y-intercept of -6. a vertex of -1 and -9 and 0.7 and -2.3. All real numbers is the domain. Range is from -9 to infinity. Decreasing from -infinity to -1. And increasing from -1 to infinity. And that's it. Well, dang, Miss Wilson got abducted and now she's gone. Okay. So graph a parabola. That's not what I wanted. Graph parabola. And I've got negative, what is my vertex? -1, -9. -1, -9. And then the x-intercept of 2.3. That's going to be hard to do. But a y-intercept of -1 or negative what? -6. Wait a minute. That's not right. Clear. -1 and -9. And then negative there. 0, -6. That should be your answer. Okay, let's see. What time is it? I know y'all get done. Let's see what time y'all get done, because I want to make sure I don't want anybody convulsing on the floor. Okay, 11 o'clock, so we got time. All right, so put this in your Excel spreadsheet. They want the power function. So the power function of this one, so I'm going to draw it. You can put it in your calculator. So I'm going to go ahead and insert chart plot, right click. They want a power function, add trendline. They want a power function. There it is. And display and display. And you can say these things, you can see these things don't take long. And I'm going to write that down as y is equal to 2.9365 x to the 0.6228. So let's go over to the question. Y is equal, it says round to 3 decimal places, 2.937 to the 0.623. That should be your answer. Next, If you miss a question on a test and you believe it is correct, what should you do? Ask to see Hubert after class. Consider the function blah, 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 blah. Well, we got a vertex of -4, which means 4 to the right and 2 down. Which one is 4 to the right and 2 down? Looks like D. Be 4 to the right, comma, -2. And they want parentheses probably around this. Make sure you put your parentheses. Next, here's your piecewise function. So let's do this one. Y, or f of x, is equal to -x, where x is greater than equal to 0, and regular x, x is less than 0. So -x is a 45-degree angle, and you've got to use all of your x's that are greater, so it's going to look like this. So I'm going to take that and color that blue. And that's that line right there. And then this is pink. And it's going to be a positive slope. And x is going to be less than. So it's going to be this way. Because these are x's less than. And these are x's greater than. So it looks like this is your graph. Looks like you got a absolute value graph opening downward. I believe it's C. What do y'all think? It's a miracle. Solve the equation by completing the square. X squared plus 18x plus blank is equal to -67 plus blank. Half of 18 is 9. 9 squared is 81. X plus 9 quantity squared is equal to, I have no idea, 14, I assume. Somebody check my math. 81, 11 minus 7 is 4, and 7 minus 6, I think that's right. And your vertex is -9, -14. That's your vertex. And we're going, you got a y-intercept of 67. Y-intercept is 67. And divide by, well, take the square root of both. X plus 9 is equal to the square root of 14. Well, the square root of 16 is 4. So I'm going to say 3.8. But they want a radical, so I'm going to leave it like this. So x is equal to positive or negative 14 minus 9. So -9 plus or minus 14. Next. No way, no how, as far as dropping your lowest grade and putting in your exam grade. I don't do that. Find a quadratic function. That's the same one we did a while ago. You can do that. I've already done that. Next, or you can plug in the points and do a quadratic regression, and it'll give you that right there. Determine if the function is quadratic. It's not, because it's a cubic. It's a cubed function, so it's not a quadratic. 0 zilch. Find the exact solution. So that's going to be no x-intercepts, because you cannot take the square root of a what? No x-intercepts. So that's going to be 9i. I'm going to put positive or negative 9i. At least that's what I think it is in my head. 9i. Cell phone. Factoring, okay, that's going to be 77 and 91. I don't know if 91, if you can divide 7. I believe you can divide 7 and 91 like 13 times. So you can factor out a 7 and make that a whole lot easier to work with. Yeah, that'd be what I'd do. I would just take that one. 77n squared plus 99n is equal to 0. And you could actually factor out a 7 and get 11n squared plus, let's see, 7 will go in there one time. No, 91, sorry. 7 will go in there one time, leave a 2, 13n. 7 equal to 0, and that cannot happen. So 11n squared plus 13n is equal to 0. We could have factored out an n also. I didn't think about that. 7n is equal to 0, n is equal to 0. And that's going to be 11n plus 13 is equal to 0. 11n is equal to negative 13, sorry. And n is equal to negative 13 over 11. So 0 and negative 13 over 11. And we already did one like this one. So you put that in your calculator, look for a power function, and it'll spit it out. It awards me extra points. Find the exact solutions. Okay, that's by factoring or by completing the square. I would probably do completing the square. Make sure you leave it in radical form. That's what exact means. And we did one like this. Find the equation of the quadratic. We did the one like that a while ago. Find the exact solutions. F of x is equal to 0, complex numbers, and perform blah, blah, blah. Okay, they want you to, I guess they want you to find the exact solutions to this equation. We're going to have to expand this. That's going to be using shortcut number 2. That's going to be x squared minus 12x plus 36 is equal to -4. And you can take the 36 over, or 36 over, and solve it by factoring, or you can solve it by completing the square. I'm trying to get everything in before y'all start convulsing. This one is easy. 4z squared is equal to 9,000, and reduce accordingly. Square root x squared is equal to positive 75. Simplify as much as possible with the radical. Communication. Put that in your calculator, match it up. Find the exact solution, solve for x. And United States, 2 of y'all got that wrong in the test, last test. It's pretty sad. When does the homework terminate? Toward the end of the unit. And I didn't answer 2 or 3 questions, but let's see how much I got. I made a 72, and there was about 6 or 7 questions I didn't answer. Okay, so that's the test. So Thursday, it's time for those people that procrastinated with the homework to send in questions. And those of you that have already done your homework, like you're supposed to have done, you're ready to take the test. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to shut everything down, and I'm going to check the roll one more time. And hopefully people did come in